Okay students, good morning all of you. How are you all? I hope you are all well. Today we are discussing about the fifth chapter, market analysis. Already we have started this chapter. In first class we have completed 5 marks question, that is the classification of the market in Zoom meeting. Market is nothing but where the buyers and sellers is come together one particular place is called market. This markets has different types based on the time, based on the area, based on the competition. So, based on the competition, that competition among the buyers and sellers having to the two types, perfect competition market and imperfect competition market. Perfect competition market is nothing but number of the buyers and sellers, among them they are having to the more competition. This type of the market we can call it as a perfect competition market. Imperfect competition market is nothing but among the buyers and sellers is not having to the perfect competition. So, imperfect competition is again 4 types: monopoly market, monopolistic market, duopoly market and oligopoly. Now, we are discussing about the perfect competition market meaning and its characteristics. So, very important for the perfect competition characteristics, very important for the 10 marks question. So, first of all, now we are discussing about the what is the meaning. So, meaning of the perfect competition market here, large number of the buyers and sellers is come together. Which markets has having to the more number of the buyers and sellers? Producers is more and at the same time buyers also more. So, large number of the buyers and sellers, which markets is there, that market we can call as a perfect competition market. So, now we are discussing about the one by one characteristics. These perfect competition market characteristics is a very important for the 10 marks question. So, first one is characters. Characteristics of perfect competition market. Characteristics of perfect competition market. So, this is the very important for the 10 marks question, as it is here is given. What are the important characteristics is nothing but features. So, which type of the features is existed in perfect competition market? First feature is large number of buyers and sellers. Second character is homogeneity. Homogeneity of the commodity. Homogeneity of the commodity. And third one, absence of artificial restrictions. Artificial restrictions. And fourth one, free entry and free exit. And fifth one, perfectly mobility of factors and goods. Perfectly mobility of factors of production and goods. Perfectly mobility of factors of production and goods. This is the fifth one. And sixth one, options of transport cost. Transport cost. And seventh one, perfect knowledge of the market. Perfect knowledge of the market. So one by one we have discussed here. So first one is, this is the 7 characteristics that are very important for the perfect competition market. Here first character is large number of buyers and sellers. Second one is homogeneity of the commodity. Third one is the absence of the artificial restrictions. Fourth one is the free entry and free exit. Fifth one is the perfectly mobility of the factors of production and goods. Sixth one is absence of the transport cost. Seventh one is perfect knowledge of the market. So one by one now we are discussing the large number of the buyers and sellers. In perfect competition market, buyers and sellers is the more, which means producers is more and sellers also, sellers is more and buyers also more. So that's why here these prices of the commodities decided by the market forces like demand and supply. Here price will be determined by the market forces, that is the demand and supply. Nobody has not, either are sellers, either are buyers has not determination of the price of the commodity of the perfect competition market. Perfect competition market, prices of the commodity is determined by the market forces like demand and supply. If it is the which goods is having to the more demand, that goods, if it is the supply is less and demand is more, automatically price will be fixed as the increased more. If the demand is low, supply is more, automatically price will be fixed as the less. So that is the market forces like demand and supply will be determine the prices of the commodity in perfect competition market. Nobody has not decided. That's why here perfect competition market, everybody has a price takers only. Nobody has not price makers. In perfect competition market, very important. Everybody has the price takers only. Not, they are not price makers, which means either are buyers, either are sellers, are not determined by the, they are not fixed by the prices of the commodity. They can fix the prices of the market forces like demand and supply will be determining of the prices of the commodity in perfect competition market. So first character is, first feature of the perfect competition market is large number of the buyers and sellers is existed. That type of the market we can call it as the perfect competition market. Among them they are having to the perfect, within the statement perfect competition, among them this buyers and sellers are having to perfect competition. That's why we are calling as a perfect competition market. So this perfect competition market, some of the features is existed in Indian agriculture. If it is in real life, in our general daily life, this type of the perfect competition markets is not there, but it is appearance, some of the 4-5 features is appearance in agricultural sector in India. Why? Because number of the millions of the farmers is there, millions of the consumers is there. That's why, so it is the slightly related to the Indian agriculture sector. And second character is homogeneity of the commodity. Homogeneity of the commodity is nothing but that goods has completely almost all same quantity and quality of same goods as produced. If it is the number of the sellers is there, these sellers or the number of the producers is there, this number of the sellers what they are selling to the goods to the consumers, all types of the goods as into the same goods, quality and color. If you take the farmers, all types of the farmers are producing the same thing, paddy. All types of the farmers has produced by the cotton. So if you take the farmers example, so farmers are producing of the same quantity, same quality of the that goods. That's why in this perfect competition market, which one they are selling, that is selling products is homogeneity of the commodity. Homogeneity means same type of the goods they are produced. And third one is the absence of the artificial restrictions, which means artificial, nobody has not restricted to the artificially. So the sellers are free to sell to the sellers has having to the freedom to the selling to the their goods to the buyers, and buyers also having to the freedom to the purchasing from the sellers. So in this process nobody has not restricted. So they have it. That's why in this absence of the artificial restrictions, artificial system, nobody has not stopped or controlling of that market. So buyers is having to the plenty of the sellers is available. So buyer as per his interest, he can purchase from the anything, anything from the any producer, and seller also he has to freedom to the selling to the any buyers. So this is the we can call it as a absence of the artificial restriction. There is no artificial restrictions, which means there is no any type of restriction is not there for the process of the selling and buying. So sellers is having the freedom to the selling to the any type of the goods to the buyers, and buyers also having to the freedom to the purchasing from the goods from the any seller. So this is the we can call it as a absence of the artificial restrictions. And free entry and free exit. If you are talking about the free entry and free exit, so if it is the industry will be getting to the profits, if it is the textile industry or agro-based industries are getting to the running with the supernormal profits, other firms will be entering for the that market. If it is any industry or any agro-based industries or textile industry will be getting to the losses, that time firms will be exit. If it is what we are thinking, during the profits time, new industry will be entering of that particular industry. If it is the industry will be getting to the losses, so some firms will be exit from that industry as their wish. If it they wants to be continuing of that particular industry, they wants to be continue. They are continuing with based on the profits. If it the industries are getting to the profits, other firms will be attracting, they are freely entry, they will be started of the production. If the industry will be getting to the losses, they will be exit as their wish. So that's why free entry and free exit. In the time of the industries will be getting to the profit, new firms will be entering. In the time of the losses, that already existed firms will be exited. So nobody can restricted. This is we can call it as a free entry and free exit. And perfect mobility of the factors of production and goods. Perfect mobility is nothing but it is moving to the one place to the another place. We can call it as mobility is nothing but from labor easy to moving from the Kanagal to Hyderabad. That is the perfect mobility of the factors of production. So in this perfect competition market, these factors of production is moving to the very freely. Perfect mobility, there is no any restrictions. If you take the labor, land, capital, organizer, if you take the any factors of production, these 4 factors of production easy to moving from one place to the another place, whatever it may be, from the rural to urban or town to cities, whatever it may be, where their requirement is required, that from easy to mobility, from rural areas to the towns and cities, these factors of production is easily moving. That is we can call it as a perfect mobility of the factors of production. Factors of production is nothing but factors of production is 5: land, labor, capital and organizer. These 4 factors of production is easily moving. That is the we can call it as a perfectly mobility of the factors of production. And at the same along with this factors of production, goods also mobility, which means in perfect competition market, which one has produced by the goods, that goods is easily moving to the one area to the another area. If you thinking over the apples as produced by the Kashmir farmers, Kashmir state farmers as North Indian farmers, but that apples are available in our Nalgonda also, in our Kanagal also. So which means where it has produced, that goods easily movable, that is we can call it as a perfect mobility of the factors and production. And 6th one, absence of the transport cost. In perfect competition market, this transport cost is not there especially, but it is in reality it is not there. But if you think about in agriculture sector, in agriculture marketing, entire the state, the paddy price is the A1 grade of the paddy price is the 1800 and 1900, which one is fixed by the government. So it is not there. If it is the Surapeta market is different and Kanagal market is different, this different prices of the commodities is not there in the paddy. So entire the state is the paddy is the same prices, which means absence of the transport cost. If you go any market in the state, if you go the any market in the country in agriculture sector, that agriculture sector is having to the same prices of the commodity. If you enter the any Telangana state or across the country, this transport cost is not incurred. Why? Because it is the same prices of the commodities overall the country. And last one is the perfect knowledge of the market. If you take the buyers and sellers, these buyers and sellers as having to the regarding to their products, regarding to their goods as having to the perfect knowledge. If it is the buyers is not having of the perfect knowledge of that market, if it is which goods has having to which prices, if it they doesn't know the prices of that particular their purchasing goods, they may be cheated. Why? Because they will be sellers will be selling to the higher prices. So that's why this as well as buyers and sellers as knowing of the that goods prices, which means if it is the buyers is not know that particular prices of the commodities, maybe we don't know that sellers will be selling to the higher prices, that time buyers will be lost. If it is some markets as having to the more prices of the some particular commodities, if it is the sellers will be selling to the lower prices, that time sellers will be lost. So two options is there. Sometimes is buyers will be lost, sometimes will be sellers will be lost if it is they doesn't know for perfect knowledge about this market. That's why, so each and everybody, buyers and sellers as having to the perfect knowledge about that particular commodity, that they having to the full knowledge about this which type of the goods as available, that goods prices is knowing to the each and everybody. So this is the 7 points is very important for the regarding to the perfect competition market. Large number of the buyers and sellers, here nobody has not determined the prices of the commodity, everybody has having to the price takers, they are not price makers. And second point is the homogeneity of the commodity, which means all types of the products as having to the same quality and the same quantity. There is a homogeneity and the absence of the artificial restrictions. Nobody has not restricted for the selling and buying. So freely selling to the sellers to the buyers, and buyers also having to the very freely purchasing from the buyers, and free entry and free exit. These firms as having to the freedom for the entry in the time of the profits. The firms as having to the freedom for the exit from the in the time of the getting of the losses, and perfect mobility of the factors of production and goods. Each and everything is easily moving from the any one place to the another place, and perfect knowledge of the market regarding to these buyers and sellers. And also here absence of the transport cost. So a transport cost also is not there in perfect competition market. This is the very important for the 10 marks question. Annual exam they will be definitely asked. This is the very most important topic. Only you can write it the 7 points. You can write it each and every point is the 2-3 sentences enough. Two pages is enough for the. You can simply get the 8 marks or 9 marks. It is easy process. Each and everybody should learn this question. And next we go for the how to price determination and perfect competition market. This is another 10 marks question. Either here we have a two 10 marks questions. One is what are the important characteristics of the perfect competition, which one we have now completed, and next we are going to be discussing about the how to price determination under perfect competition market. Here also it is a very important question for the 10 marks question, and among the this between these two questions definitely one questions will become between these two questions, either are characteristics, either are price determination. So between these two questions, one questions will be definitely they will be asked the final exams, and next we are going for the price determination under perfect competition. So here already, as I have now said, here price determination under perfect competition market is determined by the market forces like demand and supply. So market forces is nothing but in market forces nobody can create it. That is the market forces is nothing but that is the total demand and total supply. Market forces is nothing but that is the total market and total demand. If you are thinking about here, in perfect competition market, prices will be, now we are what we are discussing, how to determining of the price determination under perfect competition market. So here, as we now just discussed, in perfect competition market, price will be determined by the market forces. That market forces are, these market forces are demand and supply. This demand and supply will be determining of the prices of the commodity. In perfect competition, nobody has not determining of the price of the commodity. All these buyers and sellers is only price takers. They are not price makers. So that's why now we are discussing how to determining. If you take the one example, the price, now we go with the example, price, quantity in supplied in kgs and quantity in demand. Here in kgs, suppose price is 10 rupees, 20, 30, 40, 50. When the price is generally already we are discussed in third chapter. When the prices are increased, we have a, when the prices are increased, supply will be increased. When the prices are increased, supply will be increased. When the prices are decreased, supply will be decreased. Now it is the supply. So when that 10 rupees price is there, supply is 20 kgs. If you take that supply is maybe vegetables or tomatoes, or if you take the onions, whatever it may be, you can take the tomatoes. At the 10 rupees of the kg price is supply is the 20 kgs. The price will be increasing 10 rupees to 20 rupees. The supply has increased 20 kgs to the 30 kgs. And this price is increasing from the 20 rupees to 30 rupees, again the supply will be increasing 40 kgs, and at the 40 rupees kgs it has increasing to the 50 kgs, and 50 rupees this tomato supply has increasing to the 60 kgs, which means here as per the prices are increased from the 10 rupees to the 50 rupees, supply has also increased from the 20 kgs to the 60 kgs has increased. So here price and supply as having to this direct relationship. direct relationship, which means as the prices are increased, supply also increase. This is we can call it as a direct relationship. Direct relationship. Next, we are coming to the demand. When the prices of the tomato has having to the 10 rupees, this demand is 60 kgs. Generally natural. So whenever we are discussing the prices is more, when the prices is more, demand will be less, decreasing. When the prices are low, demand is more, natural. Here prices of the tomato has 1 kg is 10 rupees, demand is 60 kgs. When the prices is increasing 20 rupees, from the 10 rupees to 20 rupees, the demand has decreased 60 kgs to the 50 kgs. And at the time of the 30 rupees, this demand has decreased from the 50 kgs to the 40 kgs. And at the 40 rupees kg for the tomato, it has decreasing to the 30 kgs. And the prices is increasing to the 40 rupees to the 50 rupees, this demand has decreasing to the 20 rupees, which means here when you are discussing about the relation between price and demand, if you observe here, at the 10 rupees per kg, demand is more 60 kgs. At the 50 rupees per kg of the tomato has having only 20 kgs. Here you can observe, when the prices are increased, demand has decreased. When the prices are 50 rupees to 10 rupees, it has decreased. It is a demand as 20 kgs to the 60 kgs, which means price and demand has having to the inverse relationship, which means prices are increased, demand has decreased. This is the we can call it as a which type of inverse relationship or negative relationship. In case of supply, prices and supply is having to the positive relationship. This is the direct relationship is nothing but positive relationship, which means prices are increased and supply is also increased. That is we can call it as a direct relationship. But when you are coming to the price and demand as having to the inverse relationship, which means prices are increased from 10 rupees to the 50 rupees, but demand also come down from 60 kgs to the 20 kgs. 60 kgs has demanded at 10 rupees, but 20 kgs has demanded at the 50 rupees, which means it is indicated prices has increased, goes on increasing, demand also decreasing. This is the price and supply has having to the direct relationship. Price and demand as having to the inverse relationship, which one we have already discussed in the third chapter in demand analysis. So based on this table, now we can draw the how to determining. So you can observe here at the 30 rupees, 40 kgs of the tomato has supplied, and 40 at the 30 rupees price, this 40 kgs of the demand tomatoes has demanded. So already we are discussed in perfect competition market, prices will be determined by the market forces. That market forces is nothing but market forces, supply and demand. Where the supply and demand is equal, that will be perfect competition market price. Where this price and demand, where the supply and demand is equal, that is equilibrium price, and that is a perfect competition market price. If you where the supply is equal, demand is equal price, where these market forces are equalization. This is the at the 30 rupees of the per kg of the tomato, supply also 40 kgs and demand also is 40 kgs. This is the perfect competition market. This is the 30 rupees is the perfect competition market. This 30 rupees is fixed by the market forces, where it is that demand and supply is equalization. If you draw this table we can draw in the graph, that is the